Good evening, everyone, and thanks for coming for the fifth week of At the Post Live. Got a great crowd. It must be the guests. It must be my guests. Anthony Stabile is going to be joining us later. Apparently, Christophe Clement's going to be coming. In fact, we organized it this week so the winning trainer and jockey of the last race at Saratoga today would be here. And I'm very pleased to have my good friend, Joe Rosario. Joe, thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, you won the last race for Christophe. Thank God, right? I mean, how would you face him if you hadn't won? How would you face them if you hadn't won? You were the favorite.
I don't know.
Did everybody bet Joel? It was one of the few winners I actually picked today. You and Christophe have actually had some pretty good success before in the past.
Yes, we thanks God, we had some successful together. So, I just love him, and a lot.
Is he easy to ride for?
I don't think so.
He's not here yet, so we can make fun of him. How does he complain? More or less, or the same as most trainers?
I just think it's everything a little bit.
Right. I'm sure he's happy when he wins, like everybody.
Sure.
And I mean, Tonalist is one of your biggest mounts when you first got here to New York.
Yeah. Yes, Tonalist, it was my first Belmont State winner. So, great horse, and then, Christophe is, did a really good job with him, and just so glad that we won the race.
And I think it was important, obviously, I mean, winning Triple Crown races, obviously, and your win on Orb. I mean, how much does winning a Kentucky Derby sort of change your life?
A lot, because the Kentucky Derby is a famous race that horse racing. As a trainer, as a owner, as a jockey or anybody else, you can be anywhere, and the first question I think they probably ask you if you win the Kentucky Derby.
And so when did you come to, you came from the Dominican Republic to America, right?
Yes.
When did you first come here?
I came here in 2006.
Oh, you've been here a long time. Why'd you stay away from us so long in New York? You're riding in California.
Yeah, just, I was there for a little while, and then, have a lot of people there they really helped me to be probably what I am today.
And one of the first big horses you rode in California that I remember coming here was Blind Luck. Was she one of your first, sort of big mounts that got a lot of attention? Yes,
she was a really nice horse. She was really nice. She had a really good turn of foot. She accelerates so quick, like you cannot believe it. I heard her one time going five and a half furlong. I remember in Del Mar, and then she broke last. It was she was the last, and by the 16th point I was like by five lengths in front. That's how good she was.
She was funny because she was a very little horse, right? She didn't look like as impressive as some horses you've ridden.
Sure, but she was really fast. She can really go fast and for a little bit.
When she came here and won the Alabama, was that your first win in Saratoga?
I probably was, yeah. I really don't remember, but I think it was probably my first winner, yes.
Do you have any memories of when you first came to Saratoga? I mean, because that was before you started riding here full time.
Yes, it was, and then I really have a memory that winning the race, and I was, winning in the winning circle with Jerry Allendorfer, and it was great. It was a really good, time than we have that day, and then, it was a really special race for me.
Now, your agent, Ron Anderson, who's here, and obviously Ron has had a career with some of the best riders of all time. He had Gary Stevens' book, who works with us now on the show, Jerry Bailey as well. Did he have something to do with getting you to come to New York?
Yes, he was. He was the one who always told me, I want you to come, to New York, and then we always talk all the time when I was in California. Then I know him when he have a Gary Gomez, really brilliant ride, and then nice guy, and then
Garrett was a nice guy.
Yes, so I know them since back then, and then we always talk, and then he want me to come to here to New York, and then one day I decided to come. It was in 2012, and then Yeah, they say I am here. I've been
you
here
glad
for
you came?
since then.
Are you glad you came, besides being here tonight?
I think so.
Right. You're not sure. We'll see.
I'm not sure, yeah.
We'll see when Christoph shows up how things are going. And it's funny. You went back to California this past winter to ride full time. Was it fun getting back there to ride?
It was fun, and then a lot of people really helped me there, and like they do all the time, like they work on me like they how I used to be there, So yeah, I was really happy, and then just blessed. There are a lot of people that give me support. Yes.
It's a great place to ride. Watching you ride, thinking about your ride on Sir Winston, which, in my opinion, is probably as good a ride in a big race as I've ever seen. I remember Gary Stevens' ride with Victory Gallop in the Belmont, because you really did make a huge difference. How much time do you spend thinking about it? Because that was the day the rail was very good. You got right to the inside. You stayed there as long as you could. How much time does it goes into thinking about doing it and then executing it?
It was a really brilliant race, and I really in the middle of the when I wasn't in the middle of the race, I thought I had a really good chance to win the race, because the way the horse was going, and the way he was moving, and how easy he was going, and I thought I was not gonna say win the race, but a good chance to win in the end.
And how satisfying is it to be in that situation and sort of feel like you pulled it off? I mean, it was a big upset.
It was, and it was really, I was really happy, and happy for Mark, and for everybody else who gave me the opportunity to to be there. It was a really good time. And
Now, you obviously disappointing news today, because Game Winner, if people haven't heard, who is going to be your mount in the Travers, is out. It's tough to hear he's out for the Travers. Have you heard? Is he okay? Is he going to be back and still be able to run this year? Do you know?
oh, I don't know. Just I hear it from from Ron that he said he was sick, and then he not able to come. So yes, hopefully he's he's doing well, and then if it's not this time, maybe come another time.
Maybe you could win your second straight Breeders' Cup Classic. Must have
Sure.
been exciting last year. Was that was your first Breeders' Cup Classic, winning with Accelerate?
Yes, it was my first. Yes,
That
Yes.
must have been a big deal. I mean, don't downplay it. It was great, right?
it was very great, and then it was really great, and then for a guy who really helped me a lot to be where I am today, John Sale, so I really feel like I'm here because of him, because when I was I was in California, then he really gave me the opportunity to be on his horses, and then put me horses with a chance to win, and then to be where I am today. I think he really helped me a lot in my career.
So it's nice to have it sort of come full circle like that and ride. In
Sure.
watching you ride, you're a very patient rider at times without being annoying. I know that sounds funny, but a lot of people think of like Pat Day, who was a great rider but very patient, and there are a lot of riders who get frustrated with him. You have an innate ability to wait and sit coolly, but get up very often and get the best out of your horses. I mean, do you think a lot about horses, and especially in turf sprints, being patient with them?
Yes, I just sometimes I just go how the horse respond to me, and then I stay with that. Sometimes I ride the horse, and then I just trying to figure out what he want to do, and then go from there. Sometimes I just trying to find it where they come through, and they want to perform better.
And do you watch films to try to do this, to try to watch horses and watch their tendencies?
I do watch film. I watch to see what the horse like to do, and stuff like that, and see what he want to be, and to see sometimes they want to be inside, outside, or sometimes they want to be in between and stuff like that. And yeah, that helped for me to go and ride in, and I can do a better job.
I think one of the things that people also notice about you is, of all the riders here, you probably use the whip the least. Do you feel that very often you're more comfortable and more successful hand riding? I mean, not that you never use the whip, but you're often will hand ride horses to the wire, and you're successful in doing that.
Oh yes, I just go with the horse. I just go and see what the horse like to do. Sometimes if they respond to me the way they are not using the whip, but then I stay with that, and then I just trying to get the best out of the horse. If I feel they respond without, have to hit him or whip him, and stuff like that. So I just stay with that. I just go and trying to figure out what the horse would like to do.
Do you feel that sometimes it's more, if you're riding the horse, you don't want to break your rhythm? You get a rhythm with the horse, and the horse will
Yes.
respond more to that.
Yes.
Because I think that's something that a lot of people notice. Sometimes you'll see, and I'll think, is Joel going to go to the whip? But I realize that you're just getting the horse to give the most, and you win. It's not like you lose those races because you know.
It is a thing, how the horse, moving and then you can feel it. You know the horse will really respond, and you know how much horse you have, and then the way they go. Yeah.
How was going to Dubai and winning the World Cup with Animal Kingdom? Was that cool?
Yeah, it was really great. Yes.
Now, how did you end up on him? Is it because John Velasquez chose to ride somebody else because Johnny had been riding him, and it was because he rode Point of Entry? Was that the?
Yes. But I have a great agent like Ron Anderson, and then.
So Ron
Yes,
got you on that
yes.
horse. It had nothing to do
So-
with you.
I don't
Without
think- I
Ron,
don't-
you're,
I don't
without
think-
Ron, you're not. Don't be so nice to him.
No, but I think it had to be with him. Yes.
He does do a pretty good job. You do a pretty good job yourself. Are you riding any 2-year-olds you're looking forward to so far that you've gotten on that you're looking forward to riding? Anybody in general that you know of specifically, or just?
So far that I know, the man is right there. You can.
Is he going to get you some good?
Yeah.
Is Christophe going to have? Is Christophe going to have some good 2-year-olds for you? Christophe, are you
We're
here?
looking for it. Yeah.
He really should. He really should. I'm going to work on him while we're up here. Joel, thanks so much for joining us. We really
Oh, thank
appreciate
you.
your
That was
coming
great.
here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wasn't he good? He's the man. Joel Rosario.
Thank you, Andy.
Thanks, man.